Hey, I'm Amethyst Goddess from InAlignment Ministries, and I wanted to check in with you all in regards to this week's energy. So I just want to put this out there. We just had a new moon in Aquarius. Go check out that reading in regards to the new moon in Aquarius reading, where I did pick a crystal. There were 3 groups, and basically whatever message resonates with you, go with it. If you see that you have more than one group that you resonate with, again, go with it. So this week I wanted to check in, even though we have that new moon energy going on, and I already pretty much put some information out there as far as the lasting impression of what to expect for the new moon. I wanted to just check into as far as the temperature of this week on what to expect in addition to that energy, okay? So just letting you know, I'm just doing my prayers, shuffling my cards, okay? Okay, so 2 words immediately came out. One word was culmination. The other word was regression. Okay, for the culmination part, it's basically a gathering of different energies that have been brewing in regards to expectations and starting off as far as the 2023 year, in addition to having certain expectations of goals. I'm hearing goal oriented. Some of you are really setting the tone so that you can really establish some form of structure within whether your personal lives or your business or your career. I'm also seeing that there has been some changes that have been made, and it's like a culmination, a collective areas where there is different changes that are being made and adjustments, structures, order, goals, tasks, what have you. It's like more so I'm gathering like a Capricornian type energy, and it's something that's well needed so that it can set the tone for the remaining of the year, and it will also help you to be able to assess what needs to be taken care of, assess where you may need to make some improvements, and just have a clear perspective of what's happening in your life, and being able to assess it and then provide some type of solution to things that need solutions in. Now, some of you may feel like, as far as the regression part, that you're not exactly where you want to be. You feel like, in a sense, that you've made some progress, but then you had to backtrack a little bit and make some adjustments that you did not want to make. So in a sense, you're assessing your situation as far as your progress. It's not progress, it's like a regress in a sense. And you're basically examining your life and looking at it and seeing exactly what went wrong per se. And you're wanting to learn the lesson of whatever you need to master or understand so that you can move forward. So even if it's a repeated lesson in regards to your finances, if you keep seeing that you're overspending, or you're not considering certain expenses, or say for instance, you didn't have this expectation that groceries were going to be up, or inflation, or just different things that come into mind as far as everyday things that we face, and you weren't expecting it to be the way it is. Even as far as relationships, some of you were hoping that you would be in something at least consistent, or someone that you felt like you could count on in a sense, and you have basically been kind of shifting your energy in a sense to things that you can control. So the things you can control is like your day-to-day errands, career, handling business, what have you, taking care of your children or your pets or whatnot. So, you know, the personal part, some of you I'm gathering, is lacking, and you wish you know, the social, the intimate relationships and connections, partnerships, those things are kind of not like working out to what you expect. The Spirit is asking you to just be patient and allow for the divine timing to happen for you, okay? So, culmination and regression. Some of you are doing some form of like spiritual regression, where you're able to tap into your subconscious to see whether it's past lives, whether it's traumas or certain experiences that kind of been roadblocks or stumbling blockages as far as your progress in your day-to-day life, whether it's spiritually, you know, it's been impacting you emotionally, financially, even physically. So you're actually looking inward to see what happened at certain ages. You're actually evaluating what happened, specifically like childhood issues, and really evaluating how you were raised, you know, certain things that you were taught. And you're noticing right now some things are not measuring up, and you need to make some adjustments, okay? So the first card that wanted to come out is Pluto. And Pluto is connected to scorpionic energy, like rebirth, the underworld, death, freedom. So and also rebirth. So it makes sense that you're going inward into possibly a part of your life that may not be as light, an area of your life that may be a little bit darker as far as memories, and connecting those memories to what you're currently dealing with right now. Even as far as how you connect with others, how you have certain attachments to things, people, situations. You're evaluating all of that. And in order to do that, there has to be some form of going inward and going into the subconscious, okay? The darker part of the spectrum, more so than always the light and the bright, okay? And it may be uncomfortable, but I think you will do okay. You just have to be gentle with yourself and take as much as you can, and then pause, you know, step away from it and then go back to it. So if it's, especially if you're going to therapy, especially if you're getting some form of energy healing session or whatnot, just pace yourself. Or even if you're going through it solo and you're doing it on your own, like, don't feel like you have to like really go in hard, and like by the end of that you have to be where you want to be, or put these high expectations for yourself. Like, pace yourself. Like, analyze it, observe it, and if you can, be as non-attached as possible, so that once you observe some things that come up to the surface as far as your subconscious or past issues that you've had that you have unconsciously stored, you'll be able to not get so emotionally triggered or involved to the point where you freeze up, and then now you're in panic mode because you don't know. Okay, now you're starting to get overwhelmed with your emotions and thoughts that may come up in your head, thinking that, you know, it's a doom and gloom situation or whatever the case may be. Because sometimes those things that are hidden are not the most comfortable to deal with. And if you don't have the proper support, or you don't have the proper mindset or intention, it can really throw you into something depressing, okay? And you don't want to go through all that, all right? And I know that's a lot for the week, but this is what I'm gathering from the energy. Some of you are actually evaluating, again, relationship with self, relationship with others, and you really want more for yourself, okay? So I'm going to pull out 3 cards just to see the positives and challenges for this weekly energy. This energy seems a little bit more serious in a sense. It's more so like facing some things that you may have, you know, put under rug. Okay, show me the challenges, Spirit. Some of you need to retreat. Some of you need to rest and allow your spirit to be restored. And, you know, this is, when you rest, it's not only good for your physical, it's good for your spirit. Okay? It's regenerative. Like, you know, not only just like your cells within your body, but also like your spirit body needs it. And then you want to be able to correctly perceive things. So if you're seeing things that you may be blowing them out of proportion, you may be overanalyzing. Some of you may be too sensitive right now to take in certain information. You won't be able to process it without getting defensive. So again, take your time. So as far as the positives I'm seeing is positive movement forward. Even though you're taking a couple of steps or a few steps backwards in regards to analyzing things and seeing how you can better show up in the world, some of you are actually making some progress, some headway, and you're feeling pretty positive on, you know, your progress. Now, in regards to the positive movement forward, you're also realizing that you can't keep hiding away from the truth or what you need to handle. So even with you, as far as your finances, if you know you needed to handle some things, you need to get some experts to help you in regards to a certain thing. I don't care if it's taxes. Like me, I'm handling business as far as that is concerned, making sure everything is filed correctly, getting a second opinion, someone that is specializes in a particular field that you need assistance on. You're actually doing the work and not putting it off. And some of you have been putting it off, and you're going to start, you know, handling it. Even it's more so like the material in regards to what I'm seeing as far as handling business, but also spiritual, like your mental health. You stop, you know, putting it off and depending on like friends or people that you trust and confide in to talk about. Now you actually want to put some action forth in as far as seeking professional help, leaning into your guides and spiritual connections, and, you know, tuning into an actual practitioner that specializes in, you know, like I said, regressions, healing, and bringing things to light or bringing up things to the surface so you can deal with it once and for all. And in regards to socially, some of you are realizing that this week may not be all like going, kicking it and hanging out with your friends per se. Maybe towards the end of the week you will, as far as being social. But in the beginning of the week, I'm getting the first half or the portion of the week, you'll be focused on your finances and things that you need to handle as far as your business. And again, business is not just like the financial part. Business can be like tasks. If you're an entrepreneur, you're checking some things off that you need to handle, getting some expertise or a second opinion. As far as people that are within a career in, you know, as far as working for an employer, some of you are actually getting your resume dusted off, looking at some things that you can tweak, seeing if there's anything that you can build up on your resume. If there's a thing where you can increase your skill set, you're looking into that and other streams of income. I'm also seeing that some of you are spiritually, I already touched on that. Material, I already touched on that. Some of you are actually, I'm hearing something about a lease. So if there is some, say for instance, if you have a business and you're looking to establish it within a physical building or setting, you're looking into that, pricing it, gauging what to expect as far as licenses or whatnot in order to have a business, a physical, you know, brick and mortar. I'm also seeing that making sure you actually have licenses for your business, not only just for the physical building, but just making sure, like, if, say, for instance, you're a business owner, it's EIN or a sales tax thing you got to handle, or license for reselling products or services. You're looking into that as well and getting some expertise in regards to that. Okay. Some of you have recently relocated or in the process of relocating. So that lease is like twofold, business as well as personal. Okay. Some of you are actually wanting to study abroad or go abroad for some spiritual retreat or haven or something. So that, I'm seeing that. I'm looking at this card right here. This is the messages that I'm getting. Okay. And if you notice, there's a lot of colors in there. I'm big on colors. I've already, I always say that in all of my videos. But I'm getting 3 energies from this. Sacral, solar plexus, and, 4. Solar plexus, third eye, as well as throat. And all of that deals with like creativity, communication, analyzation, and it just so happened the intuition card is out. Okay, so some of you, again, I feel like it's really like an intuitive week. You're going with your gut, you're tapping in. Some things you're getting answers on, and you may not understand how you receive those answers, because you're like, I don't really know about this. But spirit and your spirit guides are actually giving you advice as far as what thing to handle or how to handle it. Even if you don't have that expertise, I'm seeing that you're getting the answers. Okay. Also, some of you are moving on, and that is a positive, not a challenge. Moving on, if you notice, they're going towards the light. So with that energy is saying that you've learned all that you need to learn in regards to a certain situation, whether it's business or, platonic or romantic. You're actually saying, you know what, I've learned all I need to learn from this, and let's move forward. Okay, so that is positive. I don't want you to really like hamper on the things that are leaving your life and focusing on what you may not have at this moment. Look at this as a way to establish yourself to start on your new beginning or your new journey. And in order to start and, initiate that change, some things have to fall by the wayside. And I think you're getting it. It's just a little bit uncomfortable for some of you. But intuitively, you understand. Like, intuitively, you are actually tapped in on what needs to happen. So if there's a regression, you know it's going to, at the end of the day, be progression. If there is a thing where you have to step back and just reevaluate everything before taking action, you intuitively know that's what's needed to be done in order for you to move forward. Okay. Now, the challenges that I'm seeing here, a lot of you need to rest. A lot of you are, you're making progress spiritually and in the physical, but in order to really properly like show up, and even if not just show up for the world, but show up for yourself, you need that rest. It doesn't always involve sleeping. It can be a day where you're not really taking any business calls. Have a day of the week where you're not doing anything in regards to, day-to-day stuff. So if there's a time where you choose Sunday, then you choose Sunday. Saturday, like, I give you an example. Mondays, I don't take any bookings. Mondays and Sundays, no sessions, okay? Unless I feel guided to in regards to like Monday specifically, because there's a certain energy on Monday for some of my clients that needs it. But Monday is really about my day of planning and assessing everything, making phone calls. I like to do them. I give myself to like Wednesday to make phone calls, because I notice like if you're calling businesses, everybody's thinking about Monday and handling business, right? So I just gather everything I need to gather on Monday, and then by Wednesday. So if it's like Tuesday, Wednesday is about communication. That's Mercury. Tuesday is about action. That's a perfect day as far as handling business. That's ruled by Mars, the planet Mars. So I know certain, and I have a lot of Mars in my, Aries in my chart. So I know how to take action on certain days based on the way I feel, as far as my energy, as well as my clients when they book sessions. So I know Monday through Wednesday, I try to have all that business handled. And then Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, just business accordingly. And even on my schedule for Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm taking in clients, but I have it where certain hours of the day are mine and my family, and then the others are for clients. And I have a cutoff time, and I have an area where I'm breaking. I'm taking a step back from everyone, so I can have my alone time. And I'm breaking down that explanation so that you can see that it is doable, even with a entrepreneurship, or whether or not you actually are employed by someone. Set aside some time just for you. And it doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours, but however you see fit, whatever resonates with you. You get up, you meditate, you pray, whatever works for you. You do your yoga or your exercises. You eat properly, make sure you're eating, nutritious foods. You take your vitamins and your supplements, you're drinking your water. You're not reaching for the phone, right? I hope you're not doing that. You're not reaching for the phone as soon as you roll over, unless it's an alarm on your phone or something. But set some time for you. Rest, rejuvenate, okay? I'm also seeing that there may be an issue with the solar plexus this week. Just having the confidence and the willpower to continue on, because again, there's going to be some information that will come up to the surface as far as what you need to handle, and you may be a little discouraged, and you can kind of know that you need to handle it, but it's kind of like some resistance there. And the anticipation of everything can be a little bit uncomfortable. And I do want to put this out there. A lot of times we think that our thoughts are necessarily here, but the thoughts actually are in the solar plexus, that we carry that. So say, for instance, if you have this form of belief system that you have to work hard in order to be successful, or you got to, just certain beliefs where you think you got to be a control freak in order to make things happen for yourself, instead of asking for help or collaborating with someone, then you'll have issues within your solar plexus. If there is a thing where, say, for instance, you may be overly critical, okay? If you're overly critical as far as how you look, how things are looking for you, even financially or physically, or even say, for instance, certain things that you thought you would have accomplished by now. If you're actually overanalyzing and being overly critical of yourself and judgmental, that's going to show up as far as an imbalance within your solar plexus. Okay. And also, be mindful, if other people got stuff going on and y'all not clicking right now, it's something in the energy that you know that, hey, this is a thing where I probably need to be solo focused this week, and we can chop it up next week or this weekend. Because again, I'm sensing an energy where people are really introspective. They're really handling their own business. Don't take it personal if people can't hang out with you or do things with you this week, or say, for instance, you want to be a little bit more social and you don't have anyone to vibe with or whatnot. This is the week probably for you to vibe with yourself. And handle business. Things that you've been putting off, handle them, okay? Okay, and constructive criticism. I did mention this. You may be a little bit sensitive, okay? So say, for instance, if you are working with an energy practitioner, or you're working with a professional as far as therapy or whatever the case may be, and even if it's say, for instance, regarding your taxes, and you didn't do what you need to do and report stuff you wasn't supposed to report, or withhold or whatever, and you kind of getting a slap on the wrist, you know what I'm saying, or slap on the hand in regards to things you've been putting off. Spirit is saying, you know, it's okay, be gentle with yourself, but accept that criticism, that information, so that you can learn from it and move on and use it, and make sure that next year or next season or the next time that come around, you'll be better prepared. And it's just a learning lesson. Some of you may actually be seeing a lot of 444s, 888, and 333s, okay, 33 specifically. I'm also seeing that some of you are facing a challenge in regards to stability and just newness. You want to connect with others, but again, it just feels like now is not the time, okay? Now it's not the time. Some of you are gonna actually get some good news, though. Like there's going to be a pickup on your finances, but it's just not the way you want it to be, per se. Yeah, I guess you were expecting a larger sum or what have you. Clarify, prosperity begins. So say, for instance, if you wanted to start over, if you're relocating or what have you, it's maybe a downgrade, I'm hearing, from what you're usually what you're used to. So if you're used to having 4 and 5 bedroom home type thing, you downsize to 1 to 2 or even a studio, it may be a little bit of adjustment for you. Or if you're starting over, whether you've been recently separated, divorced, or you just wanted to turn a new leaf, you got to get acquainted with your surroundings, you know. And it may be a little bit challenging for you because you're on your solo. You know what I mean? You're by yourself a little bit. And if you notice, again, that solar plexus energy is in this card as well. Okay? And there's a lot of green. So the green is standing out to me as far as your heart chakra. So you made a good move in regards to your situation. It's just starting on the new level at ground zero, if that makes sense. So you're not at the very bottom, you know, like a game or a simulation, like I'm seeing like Pac-Man, not Pac-Man, Donkey Kong. So like, say for instance, you completed that first level, right? And you did all the levels within that first level or those steps. So now it's time for you to go on that second level, but that second level is at the bottom of the second level. And you just got to make your progression as far as your steps and within that level. So you're just getting used to that new level where everything is brand new for you, whether it's a new home, new city, new location or what have you. And, you know, you're reestablishing yourself. You may even closed off all friendships, all connections, and you're literally starting fresh. Okay, ground zero. That's what I'm hearing. Okay, what else, Spirit? Yeah, some of you may be in your head, okay? Some of you may be in your head in regards to your situation. And it's more so like negative thoughts, you know what I mean? And it's just a thing where you just have to change your perspective about what you're going through right now. You know, victim mentality, especially if you're going through a part of your healing where you're looking back at certain things. And I do want to put this out there. Healing isn't linear. So healing may have this thing where it go up and you feel like you vibing it out, like everything is working out in your favor type feeling. You're saying your affirmations, you motivated and all of that. Getting the right crystals, the connections, you know, all that, right? And then there will be days where something happens and it reminds you of something that happened in your past, or a past person that you used to deal with, and then you get in your head about that, and then before you know it, you may have a low day, you know what I mean? And then you don't even want to be bothered with anyone, or you may have a thing where you're emotionally eating or whatever. So Spirit is saying, like, you're going to go through those different changes, okay? You're going to go through those different changes, and, you know, just be patient with yourself. But try not to think of it as something happening to you. You know what I'm saying? Like taking everything in a defensive type manner. And really those thoughts, and I'm hearing like ruminating thoughts. So, you know, being the inner critic, you know what I'm saying? Like victim mentality, thinking that you're limited. And this person can clearly get out of this. They can get out of it if they want. They can just release those bandages, take off the blindfold, right? And get out of it. It's really just a self-limitation. Also, heartache and loss. So again, some of you have had family that have crossed over, okay, that you miss them. They're not here in the physical, but I'm sure they're there with you as far as energy-wise. And the thing that you have to keep in mind is energy never dies, okay? It comes up in a different form, all right? And I know how it feels like you want like that physical touch, that physical human being there, right there with you. And it may be challenging right now. And you may be, you know, reminiscing on past memories that you've had with this person and the memories that you've held on to as far as growing up. But just honor them and think about them. Light a candle if you feel guided to, you know, like even a tea light. It doesn't have to be anything big, but whatever you feel guided to do, you know, and take a moment to actually reflect on them. And I'm sure, again, that they're, you know, looking down or surrounding you, or, you know, they're probably, who knows, might be one of your guides, you know, that have crossed over like an ancestor. So just acknowledge them, take a moment of silence for them, do something that you guys used to do, you know what I'm saying? So if y'all used to go to the park at a certain time of the day, or y'all go eat at a certain restaurant or something like that, that's if you feel inclined to do so, because sometimes it may be a little bit too sensitive for you and you just kind of want to retreat and like be in your shell, okay? And that's understandable too. And some of you have recently disconnected with the relationship, okay? I'm seeing that some of you may have had a connection and you thought it was really going to go somewhere and it didn't, okay? So Spirit is asking you to just, again, pace yourself, be gentle with yourself, and understand that everything will work out the way it needs to. I want to pull 2 oracle cards out right quick. One for love and then one for career, okay? As an advice for the week. Remember I was talking about Capricorn? So Capricorn, just kind of hard to see this card, to be honest. But Capricorn card came out. A lot of y'all are not going to really be focused on love like that. Again, it's more so, if anything, it'll be like on the past, on what happened, and then wanting something new for the future or the present. And then some of you may be connected to Capricorn, but there's something about this energy where it's like a focus on self. And on the bottom of the deck, it was Pisces. So some of you might be Pisces or have that somewhere in your chart. You may be connected to a Pisces or recently disconnected from one, or one that's crossed over. And I want to go ahead and pull out a card for career for the week. Now, this is just for the week. I love doing these weekly readings and coming back, you know, to doing this again with you all. And then again, I do readings for full and new moon. Awesome. These came out. This is perfect for y'all, for us, because some of these messages are hitting home for me too. One, it says trust the process. Okay, remember I was saying don't be hard on yourself, like pace yourself, be easy. Like there's going to be some times where it's going to be like some peaks and, you know, some valleys. You get what I'm saying? There's going to be some high points and some low points as far as your energy and what you experience. And it's all a part of the journey. So trust the process, even if people have disconnected, that have left your life. In regards to even employment, if you were recently laid off, trust the process that you will be provided for, the provision will be met. You will also receive aha moments as far as new ideas to go ahead and take a leap of faith in regards to relocating and possibly having your own business, okay? And also, I'm hearing with this, where it just says, I know it's kind of hard to see, stand out from the crowd. Okay, so when you stand out from the crowd, that's like that entrepreneurship type vibe that I'm getting as far as your career. Some of you are so used to being in the behind the scenes, making sure everyone is taken care of and they show up in the light. But now it's time for you to be out there. So have the confidence. That also deals with solar plexus energy. Have the confidence that you can do it. You have these brilliant ideas. Go for it. You know what I mean? Go for it. And believe in yourself and trust in yourself. So that's all I have for you. I will be uploading this for the week. Again, feel free to check out the new moon in Aquarius energy reading, where I did a pick of crystals for 3 groups, and see if anything resonates with you as far as that is concerned. If you are interested in booking with me, I do have all my information in the description box, so feel free to check me out that way too. All right, so this is Amethyst Goddess from InAlignment Ministries checking in with y'all. Be well. Take care.